Did you know that people are born with an accent? Well, not really, but wouldn't it be hilarious if we came out of the womb speaking like Shakespeare or sounding like a Brooklyn cab driver? Imagine being born, and the first thing your parents hear is, to be or not to be, that is the question. Imperfect iambic pentameter, or perhaps, hey, I'm walking here, in a thick New York accent, straight out of the gate. But alas, that's not how accents work. We don't come pre-programmed with a regional twang, ready to debate the philosophical nature of existence or holler at unsuspecting pedestrians. Accents are like a social secret handshake, a vocal stamp of where we're from, and they develop as we grow and start to mimic the sounds around us. Picture a baby in Boston, for example, absorbing all those dropped R's like a sponge. Before you know it, they're asking for park instead of park and car instead of car. Or consider a toddler in Texas who starts to drawl before they can draw. One day they're babbling, the next they're saying howdy and asking for taters. It's like they've got a tiny cowboy living inside them. But here's the real kicker. Our accents can change over time. Spend a few years in a new place, and like a linguistic chameleon, you might start to take on the local lilt. It's as if your tongue is trying to fit in at a new school, desperately trying to sound like the cool kids. So accents aren't a birthright, but a badge of our environment. They're a reflection of the people and places that shape us. It's a symphony of sound, a melody of mimicry, a concerto of conversation, and who knows? Maybe babies really are practicing their accents when they babble. Perhaps that gurgle is a rough draft of a Glaswegian good morning, or that coo is a first attempt at a Californian cool dude. So next time you hear a baby babbling, maybe it's not gibberish. Maybe they're just rehearsing for their future role as a British secret agent. People have some strange sleep habits. Some snore like a freight train, others sleepwalk into the kitchen and make a sandwich. But have you heard about people who sleep with their eyes open? Oh yes, you heard it right. There are those among us who doze off, eyes wide open, looking as if they're intensely focused on the dream version of war and peace. They're not trying to scare you, they're just sleeping, or at least that's what they want us to believe. And then there are the sleepwalkers, the nighttime adventurers. They don't just stick to the confines of their bedrooms. Oh no, they're off exploring the house, or sometimes even the neighborhood. There's a tale of a man who sleepwalked out of his house, down the street, and ended up at his local grocery store. He was found in the cereal aisle, debating between cornflakes and granola. In his sleep, mind you. Let's not forget those who talk in their sleep. They might be reciting Shakespeare, confessing their deepest secrets, or ordering a pizza with extra cheese. It's a one-sided conversation, but it can be entertaining, especially if they start arguing with themselves. Just remember, no matter how tempting, never agree to a sleep talker's proposal of marriage. And then there's the snorers, the human freight trains. They could wake the dead with their nocturnal symphony of snores. From soft whistles to window-rattling growls, they cover the entire sound spectrum. Some say it's like sleeping next to a chainsaw, others say it's more like a revving motorcycle. Either way, earplugs are a must. But the sleep habit that takes the cake, or should we say the pillow, is the people who sleep with their eyes open. It's a real thing called nocturnal lagophthalmos. Sounds like a spell from Harry Potter, doesn't it? It's as if they're on a constant lookout for dream thieves or midnight snack opportunities. If you ever see someone sleeping with their eyes open, don't panic. They're not zombies. Or are they? People's fear of spiders is common, but did you know that you're more likely to be killed by a champagne cork than a spider? So, next time you're celebrating, watch out for those deadly corks. Now that may sound absurd, but it's the hilarious truth. Most people, when they see a spider, would probably jump higher than an Olympic pole vaulter. But have you ever seen someone react the same way to a champagne cork? Probably not. I mean, it's just a cork, right? But let's get real, folks. That cork is essentially a tiny, pressurized missile waiting to be launched at any unsuspecting partygoer. But sure, let's all continue to freak out about the harmless spider in the corner. Take, for instance, my cousin Bob. Bob is a big, burly man who wouldn't think twice about wrestling a bear. But put a spider in front of him, he squeals like a schoolgirl at a boy band concert. It's a sight to behold, I assure you. And let's not forget Aunt Mildred. She's the sweetest old lady you'll ever meet, but she's convinced that every spider is a venomous creature out to get her. She once called the fire department because a spider was on her ceiling. I wish I was making this up. Now, I'm not saying spiders can't be dangerous. Of course, there are a few species that can cause harm, but the odds of encountering one of these in your living room are about as likely as you finding a unicorn in your backyard. On the other hand, how many of you have popped a champagne bottle at a party? Quite a few, I'd wager. And how many of you have seen someone get hit by the cork? Not so funny when you're the one seeing stars, is it? So the next time you see a spider, don't scream. Instead, take a deep breath, appreciate the beauty of nature's design, and calmly escort it outside. Save your energy for when someone pops a champagne bottle. You never know when you'll need to duck and cover. Remember, the next time you see a spider, don't scream. Save your energy for when someone pops a champagne bottle. Did you know that the average person checks their phone 150 times a day? That's more often than they check their fridge. Priorities, people. Now, let's just let that sink in for a moment. Imagine, if you will, a world where our phones are more important than the sacred, hallowed ground of our refrigerators. I mean, who needs a late-night cheese snack when you can just scroll through your Instagram feed, right? It seems that our phones have become our new best friends, personal assistants, and even our alarm clocks. Yes, alarm clocks. Remember when those were a thing? Those poor, neglected, dust-collecting devices sitting on our bedside tables. They're probably feeling very left out these days. And let's not even get started on maps. Remember those big, foldable pieces of paper that would never quite fold back the way they were supposed to? Now, our phones guide us everywhere. We've traded in paper cuts for screen smudges. Quite the upgrade, wouldn't you say? But it's not just about getting from A to B or waking up in the morning. Oh no, our phones have infiltrated every aspect of our lives. Need to break up with your significant other? There's an app for that. Want to find out what breed of dog you'd be? There's an app for that too. Some of us even talk to our phones more than we talk to actual, real-life humans. Hey Siri, tell me a joke. Okay Google, what's the weather like? It's all fun and games until your phone starts answering back with more wit and sass than your best friend. But hey, who am I to judge? I'm just a voiceover with a Kazakhstani accent after all. And I'm pretty sure even my voice is being generated by a phone somewhere. So the next time you check your phone, maybe take a moment to check your fridge too. You never know what surprises you might find. Bubble wrap, the ultimate stress reliever, or the world's most addictive substance. The jury is still out, but one thing is for sure, there's something undeniably satisfying about popping those tiny air-filled pockets. Let's dive into the fifth fact about people's love for this oddly gratifying pastime. Picture this, you've just received a package in the mail, you tear it open with giddy anticipation, and there it is, your brand new bubble wrap. Oh, and whatever you ordered is there too. But that's not the point. It's the bubble wrap that's the real star of the show. So why is popping bubble wrap so addictive? Well, it's because of a little thing called instant gratification. Each pop is an immediate reward for your efforts, a small but satisfying victory. It's like playing a game where you're always the winner. And who doesn't love winning? But there's more to it than that. The act of squeezing and popping bubble wrap is also a form of tactile stimulation. The sensation of the bubbles bursting under your fingertips can be oddly calming, and the rhythmic popping sound can be downright hypnotic. Then there's the whole stress relief aspect. Popping bubble wrap has been found to have a calming effect on the mind, reducing tension and anxiety. It's like a mini massage for your brain, if you will. But let's not forget the most important reason of all. Popping bubble wrap is just plain fun. It brings out the child in us, the one who finds joy in the simple things in life. And in this fast-paced, high-tech world, we can all use a bit more of that childlike wonder and delight. So remember, popping bubble wrap is not just fun, it's therapeutic. And if anyone tells you otherwise, just drown them out with more popping.